Hello, friends. Welcome back to the course of marketing entitled The Art and Science of Marketing from Basics to Breakthrough. We are in the week 5, module 5, where we are talking in terms of customer buying process and understanding the concept of value. Last class was devoted to make you understand the customer buying process and related the consumer adoption process. Now we try to move further and understand what exactly the value is, what exactly the customer satisfaction is, what exactly we mean by the service or customer service quality. So the title of lecture 2 of module 5 is defining customer value, customer satisfaction and customer service quality. So welcome you again. I, Dr. Asutosh Mohan, Associate Professor at Institute of Management Studies, Banaras Hindu University, would like to start the session with learning objective. As usual, we have 3 learning objectives for our session. The first learning objective where we try to understand the basic concepts of value, customer value, the customer satisfaction and customer service quality. Then we try to find out the difference between the perceived value and delivered value so as to understand the satisfaction in detail and to understand the possibility of customer service recoveries. And finally, we try to understand how to deliver an excellent customer service, which is actually a differential point among the different organizations to create a point of difference in the minds of customers. So, let's start with one story, a beautiful story of 2 cab drivers. One cab driver is offering a very neat and clean taxi, very humble, good in behavior, on time availability of cab insured, and the best possible service is available with the first cab. The second cab is relatively opposite but is having a little advantage in terms of offering a little less price to the first one. Now, as a consumer, which one will you opt for? Definitely the satisfaction and the value you perceive with the first one will be much higher, even though price you are paying relatively less in the second, but majority may go for the first one to hire again. This is what we need to understand, the importance of customer service, price and product when they are becoming a kind of standard in nature. So which one is going to differentiate? It's only the customer service. It's only the delivery of customer service which can differentiate the different brands at crowded marketplace. Now the concept of customer value, very basic but very crucial concept, and we discussed this concept initially when we discussed the basic terms or basic understanding of marketing in module 2. So what exactly value is? Value is in terms of what we get and what we give. Very easy. This is we are calling in terms of benefits, and this is we are calling in terms of cost. So cost we consider in terms of paying the price of product or service or goods or service, that is one cost. But beside that, there are certain other elements of cost and which need to be monetized to reach on in totality the value we are getting. So what it may be? The time we are devoting, the money we are spending, the efforts which we are making, the opportunities which we are losing, the emotions attached, the image related with the same. Those all elements are related with cost. Let's take the example. Even though monetization is relatively difficult, but the image associated with our purchase also contribute a lot. For example, even though there might be many reasons for failure of Tata Nano at marketplace, but imagine a situation, a normal middle class, upper middle class or a middle class family decide to purchase a four-wheeler. Purchase a four-wheeler in a middle class family is a big decision, and it is considered to be a kind of a status enhancer. Now this family purchased Tata Nano car, and when they return back from the showroom, the neighbor is simply saying, "This is the choice which you had, you don't have any other choice." Just imagine the impression, just imagine the feeling of that family. Don't you think the cost immediately escalate and overpower the benefit? That's possible. Even though price may not be good, but the social factor, the cost, the emotion, the image which you are having with the use of the goods or the service, that also contribute toward the cost, and immediately that family might feel their decision was wrong. That's what the cost factor, and immediately the value of their purchase will go down. Now when we talk about the benefits, benefits not only in terms of quality, benefits are difficult to monetize. So it is not only in terms of quality, it is terms of convenience, emotion, prestige, experience, even the scarcity and nostalgia that contribute to the benefit. Let's take one example. Saregama Karwa, a radio-like structure, old age radio like structure having possibility of 5,000 songs stored in that structure, that became a very popular product of RP Goenka group. Why? Just imagine the availability of 5,000 songs, maybe a free of cost, maybe with little amount on the internet, but many individuals purchased the Saregama Karwa and gifted it to their parents and grandparents, who felt very happy to listen the old voice, even the Binaka Geet Mala by Amin Sayani, and they enjoyed it a lot. So the happiness the children, the grandchildren saw on the faces of their parents and grandparents, that was related with nostalgia. So they were ready, or even the market is ready to pay 6,500 plus rupees for a box, looks like a radio with 5,000 songs and the FM possibility, and people felt happy. Otherwise, if you go with the economical consideration, it might not be a good choice. Let's take the another example, how is scarcity. Few years back, prior to pandemic, I think so, prior to pandemic, there was a rumor that salt was going to be in short supply. And people purchased salt even with a price tag of 200 rupees, 100 rupees per kg. And they felt very happy. Even my neighbor assured me, I purchased 10 kg of salt, don't feel sad that you didn't get, I will give to you. I purchased it with 150 rupees per kg, and whenever you need it, I will give it to you, because without salt the food is not possible, or food was not possible. So this hype or this rumor of a scarcity of salt at market created people to pay 100, 200 rupees per kg for a simple salt of 20 rupees, 30 rupees per kg. And people felt very happy. That was a situation where scarcity created a lot of more benefit where price become a kind of secondary factor. That is why when we talk about what you get and when we talk about what you give, it actually include lot many factors which are difficult to monetize but playing a very big role to decide the value proposition of your purchase. Based on this value proposition, we have two kind of values. One is called utilitarian value. The other is called hedonic value. Let's try to understand what exactly the utilitarian value, what exactly the hedonic value. In a very simple term, whenever you purchase any item by applying your mind, the gray cell, and mind is dominating the purchase decision, and accordingly you are trying to get whether it's good purchase or bad purchase, deriving value, that is utilitarian value. Whenever you purchase with your heart, whenever you purchase when heart is dominating the decision, overpowering the mind's rational approach, that is what hedonic value is. Now let's take another example. Suppose my wife birthday is in coming month, going to come in next month. Knowing the fact that gold prices are at its peak, crossing even the 1 lakh rupees tag, as a rational investor, I don't want to purchase gold because it's very costly. I may wait for certain opportune moment when it may come down, because there are a lot of speculation that it may come down dramatically or it may go up dramatically. Both possibilities are there. So as a rational investor, I may delay the purchase and may not go for any gold purchase. But my wife's birthday is coming next month and I want to please my wife. What will be my decision? I will definitely purchase gold. That is decision by my heart rather than by mind. This is what we need to understand, the difference between hedonic and utilitarian value. Based on this hedonic and utilitarian value, we may have two possibilities. Either we are having low hedonic utilitarian value and high utilitarian value. We may have the same thing for low hedonic value and the high hedonic value. So if utilitarian value is low and hedonic value is also low, let's take the example. A fast food restaurant with a very slow and dull kind of light and slow music is running its outlet. Will it serve any purpose? Why we are going fast food restaurant? Because we are somehow having the scarcity of time. We don't want to sit and spend the quality time. The music is slow, the lights are dim, very boring, that is not energizing the atmosphere. So it will become a bad positioning, and accordingly you may find you are not good in this kind of restaurant. So low utilitarian, low hedonic value, you simply go for frequent or a regular kind of purchase without indulging too much to evaluate the value proposition. If your utilitarian value is high and hedonic value is low, why we are going to fast food restaurant? Because we are in hurry and we can have a grab our meal with takeaway possibilities as early as possible, and if fast food restaurant is serving that requirement, it's a okay positioning, it's a good positioning. So utility, shortage of time, I want to grab my food, so takeaway facility is available or drive-in kind of facility available, where I simply drive and pick my order. I place my order from mobile, place the time, and just passing through that particular outlet, picking my meal and enjoying on the move. That's possible. Now if your utilitarian value is low, but hedonic value is high. It means a restaurant with nice atmospheric where you want to spend your quality time, and accordingly you enjoy your meal, you enjoy your time, maybe the partner accompanying you in the restaurant, you enjoy that particular company. And if restaurant is providing that kind of scenario, don't you think that will be an okay positioning where the hedonic value is high but utilitarian value is low? Now think about the last one, the superior positioning, the high hedonic, high utilitarian. So a very good atmospheric, you enjoy that atmospheric of restaurant, not very costly also, so you enjoy the price tag. Very good menu, very good taste, you enjoy the utility. You may spend a quality time with a good food in a good atmospheric restaurant where your mind is supporting, go for this restaurant for taste, for price. Your heart is supporting, go for this restaurant with the comfort it provides, the service they provide. Don't you think that will be the superior positioning? That will be the best positioning which you have to go for. So if any organization is able to create high utilitarian value with high hedonic value possibility, that organization is bound to win the market. Even though it's difficult to say, difficult to achieve, easier to say, but if any organization succeed in this proposition to deliver high utilitarian value with high hedonic value, obviously the customers, the consumers will love to visit again and again to that particular offer, to avail that particular offer. This is what we need to understand in terms of hedonic value, the importance of hedonic, the importance of utilitarian value. Now, how can we deliver the superior value? We try to understand the hedonic and utilitarian value difference and accordingly try to understand what kind of restaurant atmospheric need to be to make it, whether it's a bad position, okay position or superior position. Now, beside that, we have to understand how to deliver a superior value. There are different possibilities. First possibility is conformance quality. Conformance quality means whatever you are promising, you are delivering as per your promise. This is required. This is utmost requirement. If you are promising we are providing so and so and so things, make it ensure that you are providing the same. Next one is customer satisfaction. Whatever you are providing, that is as per the requirement of the market, as per the unfulfilled needs and wants of the market, and you need to be very responsive as per the changes at the marketplace. So if you are adaptable, you are flexible, you understand the market pulse, definitely you can build an offer to satisfy the customer. Next one is loyalty. Now this loyalty is also a very crucial factor to deliver the superior value. So if any customer or consumer is feeling loyal to the organization, they are bound to generate more and more revenue with less possibility of switching. And finally, the customer value, where you have to exceed the expectation, you have to create a unique kind of benefit that every customer feel not only satisfied but maybe delighted or more than that. Let's see what exactly this is, the customer satisfaction. In a simple term, if you are deriving any value which is positive in nature, you are supposed to be satisfied with your purchase. Or say in another manner, if the actuals are more than the expected, then again you feel satisfied. and it's beautifully represented here. Just see, there are two arrows, one is expectation and delivery is much larger than the expectation. Take another scenario, suppose this delivery is ending up to here. It means the possibility which you promised you are not able to deliver. So, it is a failed, a kind of dissatisfaction, a kind of outrage possibility where customer may complain in some possible manner, maybe an angry customer which you are witnessing. Even if it is matching the expectation, you may feel a little bit of satisfaction, but even a slight mismatch with your expectation lead toward a situation where you feel unhappy. That's possible. But if it exceeds your expectation, you feel satisfied, and if it exceeds in a major way, you feel pleased, and if it exceeds your imagination, then you reach on this phase which is called dazzled, amazed. You are not finding a word to explain the level of satisfaction. You are excited, you are full of joy. You feel that's a great offer which you availed, it's a great company, the product from which you purchase. Did you ever feel this kind of feeling with any purchase? If it is, and if you realize this kind of feeling, you must be a lucky one. And this possible. It's not an impossible proposition. It's possible where we may provide a solution as a marketer to dazzle the customer. And if it is possible, then chances of loyalty will be very high. Now, let us move to the customer service. What we mean by customer service? Customer service is an essential requirement. Whatever the great product we are having, if we don't provide the customer service, then there may not be a possibility to retain the customer, to satisfy the customer. Just think about one single purchase, think about the purchase of automobiles. Whenever we are purchasing the automobile, as we discussed earlier, when we try to understand the need, we simply try to find out it's not only the real need, it's not only the stated need, it was unstated need where we try to find out what will be the possibility of after sales services, how good the after sales services offered by the automobile manufacturer. And this is one of the factors, up to 69% of customers stop doing business with a company due to one bad experience. A very big factor. Just think, even if you are providing 10 times a good experience, but somehow one bad experience created by your organization, the chance of losing the customer is up to 70%, nearly 70%. What does it mean? It means we have to provide the services responsibly. We need to be responsive, and we need to do these two activities repeatedly over a period of time without any flaw. That's what the requirement of customer service is. So, customer service is how you deliver a direct one-to-one interaction with customer and company representative. This is in fact making a relationship effort with certain kind of trust, certain kind of reliability, so as to create an experience for the customer where they want to remain with your offer. This is what customer service is, and this is what we need to understand. So, before understanding the customer service in detail, before understanding the customer service in totality or little bit of more detail, we need to understand the certain failure points of customer service. For example, delays, very common. Several times we order something and then keep on waiting for its delivery, and we are getting the response, this is not coming from the back end, the problem with transporters, the problem with this and that. Don't you think that you are creating a bad experience for the customer? Maybe a lack of communication, maybe a lack of, or better to say, a poor communication. Maybe whatever you are promising, you are not able to abide by that particular promise. All those things are creating lot of hassles, lot of dissatisfaction in the mind of customers. That's happening. So how can you recover? So if certain things are not moving as per the promised way, definitely there will be the chances that customer will complain. And if customer is complaining, then feel fortunate. Don't feel a kind of situation, don't feel offended. If customer is complaining, it's an opportunity. How good you are going to recover from that complaint. And if you are good to recover, your complaint resolution is speedy. Your complaint resolution is justifiable. Your complaint resolution is amicable, or it's pleasing, or somehow creating a proposition where the consumer is getting more than the expectations. That's possible. And that is what the concept of service recovery paradox. It's a very beautiful concept. What exactly this is? Service recovery paradox. What it means? The original satisfaction which you are getting from the service may be less than the satisfaction you derive when you complain the failure of service, and organization recovered beautifully more than your expectation, then original evaluation of a right service may be lesser than the service recovery experience which you have with the service provider. It means if service recovery is beautiful, more than the expectation, you feel more satisfied than a flawless service which you achieved on a first go. Seems little difficult to digest, but it's reality. That is why it's a service recovery paradox. Now, some core principles of good service which we have to have understand. We have to have ensure the speed of service, how quickly, how good to maintain the possible service in a short span of time. Second principle talks about accuracy, how good we are in terms of delivering without making any mistake. That's again very crucial factor. Next possibility is clarity. Clarity means how good we are to explain the facts and figure without hiding any particular domain, without hiding any bits and pieces of information. We need to be very clear in terms of making the customer understand our viewpoint as a marketer. The frontline staff who is handling the customer must be empowered. For example, if a customer is making a complaint and suppose the frontline person is not empowered to take or make decision, he or she simply says, let me talk to my senior and come back to you. Don't you think immediately in our mind used to come, why not to have a talk with senior rather than talking to junior? If senior is supposed to resolve our complaint, so why I am investing my time and energy with junior? Immediately that kind of confusion arises in your mind. And that is why empowerment become a very big factor in customer service handling or customer service delivery. So empowerment is one big factor. Next one is transparency. You need not, transparency and clarity are interlinked. So if you are providing a clear understanding in a very transparent manner without hiding anything, without ornamentally decorating anything, you are delivering what you are promising, this is one big factor to go for a higher level of satisfaction. Accessibility and friendliness. These are two another big factors. Several times we face a difficulty as a consumer how to approach the organization. We want the certain kind of services, but we are not able to approach, we are not able to assess the service. For example, suppose both husband and wife in a house are working, and one of the durable in the house supposed to be malfunctioning. The complaint through phone, complaint through toll free number, or complaint through online sources registered, but the service provider don't want to come on holiday. Service provider simply say they will come during the office hours. So you are able to assess, launch your complaint, you are basically registering your complaint, but somehow the accessibility of customer service, which is not matching with the customer service department timing and your office timing, is creating a possibility of unaccessibility. This is a very crucial factor. Similarly, a smiling face, a rude face, the friendliness, the humbleness is required by the service provider employee to handle the customer service. And remember, that create a lot of difference. You feel very angry with certain kind of issues, but a person with a very smiling, cool person standing in front of you, empathizing with your requirement, don't you feel immediately you feel relaxed that you reach on a good position, you reach on a good place, you are dealing with a good organization. That's what required, and these principles are very crucial. Every organization need to understand these principles. So customer service excellence. Customer service excellence in terms of providing 24/7 support, in terms of personalizing the interactions, in terms of resolving it quickly, using feedback, preferred communication, and invest in omni-channel experience. We will discuss the omni-channel. This is one of the wonderful opportunity which is emerging, which is developing, and that is providing a number of touch point to the consumer to interact with the organization. It provides opportunity, but it also provides challenges. So we need to understand a little bit more when we discuss the distribution channel possibility. But remember, providing excellent customer service also include the possibility of exploring the omni-channel presence or omni-channel network in your kitty. So let's take, before ending the session, the real example of Starbucks. Value. What is the value proposition the consumers are having? They are having a premium coffee experience, they are having one good ambience, and the coffee is also personalized as per the requirement of individual. What is leading toward the satisfaction? They friendly baristas and the correct order which you are placing. They were very particular in terms of noting down your orders. Quality, very consistent experience globally. Whether you visit to Starbucks in city Varanasi or Delhi or any other foreign country or any other place or cities in India altogether, if you are getting or having a same kind of experience, you love to visit to Starbucks if you are delivering a constant, a wonderful kind of service and leading towards a kind of satisfaction, maybe delight to the customer to enjoy the coffee in a good ambience, with a good taste, with good aroma. So summary, finally, value is perception driven. I hope you understand when we talk about the hedonic value, when we talk about the utilitarian value, it's a perception driven. Satisfaction comes from exceeding the expectation. We saw that particular thing where the expectation and reality, and if you are exceeding the expectation up to that level where your imagination is not able to catch, then you are dazzling the customer. That's also possible. And finally, what we learn, the customer service quality anchors both loyalty as well as satisfaction. This is one differential factor which either makes or breaks the experience of consumers or customers. So, for your engagement and further reading, keep learning, pay attention, or I simply give you one possible question to think about. Would you pay more for guaranteed better service? Why or why not? Little critical, but just think about your option sets. Will you go for that particular guaranteed service experience at a higher price or not? You feel it and enjoy the learnings which we have in this session. If you have further reading interest, go for Harvard Business Review article, Delivering World-Class Customer Experience. It's really a very beautifully explained article to understand the entire customer journey to build the customer experience. Thank you for your attention, thank you for your time and energy. Based on the learning of module 5 session 2, we move to the next session and try to understand the loyalty, the customer loyalty, which is actually depends on the level of satisfaction we are having. Thanks again.